Now, when a college student in Milwaukee vanished after a first date, law enforcement used an app on her phone to trace her whereabouts. As investigators zeroed in on the teen's movements, they uncovered chilling security camera footage. 48 Hours correspondent Anne-Marie Green has more.
On April 1st, 2024, Sade Robinson, a 19-year-old college student from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, went on a first date, but she never returned home. The next morning, the charred remains of her car were found behind an abandoned building. Lead Detective Joe Donner of the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office.
This is Sade's vehicle.
This is pretty much completely destroyed.
It is.
Suspecting something terrible had happened to Sade, Detective Donner and her team took note of the position of the driver's seat.
I then went to a dealership and found an identical model.
With the driver's seat in the same position as the one in Sade's vehicle, Donner grabbed a deputy who was about Sade's height.
And when she sat in the car, she couldn't touch the pedals.
There was no way Sade was the last person in that driver's seat.
No.
Donner says the last person to drive Sade's car had to be at least 6 feet tall. Sade's date that night was 6'1", 33-year-old Maxwell Anderson. On Sade's phone, investigators found a clue that could tell them everywhere Sade went the night she disappeared, the Life 360 app.
Unlike Find My iPhone, that gives you where your phone is right now, Life 360 gives you historical data.
As investigators traced Sade's movements from her app, they obtained security camera footage of Sade with Anderson on their date. Anderson would later say that when he and Sade parted ways, she was fine. But hours later, according to her Life 360 app, Sade's phone arrived at an area along Lake Michigan. Investigators went there and uncovered this grainy footage of a figure seemingly dragging something to the lake.
Who do you believe that figure is?
Maxwell Anderson.
Oh, that is some eerie footage there. 48 Hours correspondent Anne-Marie Green is with us in studio to talk about this week's episode. Anne-Marie, good morning. Great to see you, as always.
Yeah.
How crucial was that Life 360 app? Because I heard you speaking to some other people about that story. They're like, we need that.
This app is something else. This is not like Find My Phone, right? This uses GPS. So it's very accurate in terms of locating where her phone was that night. It was crucial, incredibly crucial, because almost immediately they knew where she went. So they could go to those locations, get things like surveillance video and other evidence that would have been lost if they had waited weeks.
And how unusual was it for her to be at, is it Warnemont Park?
You said it right. So this is kind of a large park, but very unusual for her to be there at that time of night, and especially that location. Her family thought it was very, very odd.
What about Maxwell Anderson?
Yeah.
Did he have ties to the park?
So
how close is he to the guy?
Yeah, a little different for him. We actually spoke to one of his ex-girlfriends who said that he would go to the park all the time, but specifically he went to one particular area that he sort of thought of as his own. He would take his girlfriend there. He called it his secret beach. So as you can imagine, when investigators learned about this, they were very interested.
In our last few seconds, we saw this like experiment with the driver's seat.
Yes.
Were investigators able to tie him to that car and being behind the wheel?
Well, you know, Sade was short and he was tall. He was 6 foot tall. And the thing about the driver's seat is that there's no way somebody shorter than 6 foot would have been driving that car when it was set on fire. And that was just another indication that Sade was not the one driving around the city that night.
Wow, it's so fascinating to see how they piece clues together. Anne-Marie, always wonderful to see you. You can catch Anne-Marie's full 48 Hours report, Sade Robinson and the Secret Beach at 9 Central on CBS. Make sure you plan to watch this. It also streams on Paramount+.